$60 billion for a coding startup. That's what SpaceX just paid, 4 days after its IPO priced. Asia's up 7% overnight. The most oversold name is coming. Futures are green into the open. Nasdaq futures up 0.4%, the S&P adding 0.13%. Dow futures barely red. But the real story's offshore. Nikkei up 2.1%, Hang Seng past 1%, Asia chasing Friday's rally hard. SpaceX just wrote a $60 billion check for an AI coding startup called Cursor. The story everyone's running with is diversification. I don't buy it. 93% of SpaceX's spending is going into divisions that are still losing money. That's the backdrop for a splashy new acquisition, and it matters more than the deal itself. The post-IPO pop, that already happened, mostly on shorts getting squeezed out. A $60 billion deal days later isn't diversification. It's a reason for holders not to sell into it.
Everyone's calling Cursor a growth story. Wrong question. The real one, does this deal give employees and early investors a headline to hide behind when the lockup unlocks later this month?
4 days from IPO pricing to a $60 billion deal. Fast enough that this reads less like strategy, more like stagecraft, timed right before that lockup opens. Zoom out to the S&P, 774 right now. Clear 780 and this AI spree keeps getting a pass. Lose 770 and deals like Cursor start looking exactly like what they are. My pick tonight sits $4 below its own line. Nikkei up 2.2%, Nasdaq surging 7% as chip and biotech names rip higher. But the ETF Americans actually trade, EWY, that Korea proxy, is down 0.25% today. The rally's real, the follow-through isn't confirmed yet. July's inflation print lands this week, the first real test since Friday's shockingly weak jobs report. Gold's already up 2.2% today, pricing in a cooler number. If CPI surprises hot, that rate cut bet unwinds fast. Sezzle beat on revenue, raised guidance, and lost 1/3 of its value in a single session. Good news, bad stock. Don't assume the next beat and raise you see is safe to chase. The calendar that actually moves this week, gas prices roll back at the pump tomorrow, Tuesday the 11th. Then July CPI lands, the first data test since Friday's shock 23,000 job cut. Watch gold and the dollar into that print, not just stocks. A cooler CPI extends the rate cut bet, already fueling this rally. A hot one, and Friday's jobs shock starts looking like the start of something, not a blip.
Right, the name I promised you. Netflix is down 41% from its high, and the debate right now is whether it's the cheap one next to Disney, or just cheap for a reason.
41.6% off the top. That's the number the bulls are leaning on. And it's also exactly why the bears think there's further to fall before this one's actually cheap. $74 right now. 70 is the level that decides this. Hold it and the setup stays intact. 80's the first real resistance. And that's a long way up from here. This is the same read the app gives me every morning. A crowd gauge, overbought, oversold, both moving averages stacked on one chart. No guesswork, just where the signals line up. The crowd's leaning bullish here. 78% conviction, herd direction up. Analysis, not advice, but that's a real skew, not a coin flip. Cursor's the headline, but the lockup's the real trade. Watch 770 on the S&P, this week's CPI, and $70 on Netflix. Full breakdown at PremiChart.com and on X every morning. See you tomorrow morning.